And we are live. What's going on, gentlemen? How are you guys doing? Hopefully you guys are keeping well. We've got a packed weekend of boxing coming up. Obviously, most people are talking about Dillian White versus Alexander Povetkin. But, we've got some more fights. Sean Porter versus Sebastian Formella. Yildirim Alvarez versus Joe Smith. We got some good fights this weekend, man. Some really good fights. The return of Sergio Martinez. Who could forget that? Yeah, man, we got some decent fights this weekend. We have. Best weekend of boxing, since coronavirus, basically. Looking forward to a lot of fights this weekend. Fingers crossed I'll be in this weekend so I can sit down and enjoy these fights. A lot of the past weekends when there's been fights on, I've not watched these fights live. So, yeah, fingers crossed, man. This weekend, I'm free and just able to watch these fights, live kind of thing. Big up to Big Dan. Hopefully you're doing well, Big Dan. Hopefully you're keeping well, brother. Big up to Official Scorecard Boxing Science. Yes, sir. Smash the like. Smash the like. Big up to Official, man. Hopefully you're doing well, man. Hopefully you're keeping well. Plenty of fights this weekend to really sink our teeth into, Loads of good fights. We've even got the return of Juan Pablo Hernandez, former IBF Cruiserweight champion. He's returning after 6 years. He's going to be fighting at heavyweight. He's fighting Kevin Johnson. So there's a lot out there, man. There's a lot of fights to look forward to, bro. There's a lot of fights to look forward to. A fight in Russia between Ruslan Pfeiffer and Alexei Papin. That's a good fight at Cruiserweight, WBC Eliminator. I think Papin wins that fight, to be honest, but it's a good fight. And yeah, man, there's some really, really good fucking action this weekend. It's good to be excited about boxing again. That's the main thing. It's good to be excited again. But yeah, I've put a few bets on for this weekend. Actually, I've got a £25 accumulator. I've got Alexander Povetkin knocking out Dillian White, Zach Chelly beating Jack Cullen, Katie Taylor beating Delphine Pursoon on points, and Yildirim Alvarez beating Joe Smith. £25 returns 900 and I think £20, something like that. So I thought it was worth a bet. The odds on Povetkin are too good to really pass by. I am picking Dillian White, but the odds on Povetkin are definitely worth a bet. He's definitely in with at least a puncher's chance in this fight. And let's be honest, yeah, skill for skill, Povetkin is better than Dillian White. My thought process in regards to Dillian White winning this fight is more so just the age, the youth. The guy's a bigger dude. He's young. He's younger, stronger, fresher, and I think that'll see him through. But Povetkin has a real chance in that fight, no doubt about it. Povetkin can definitely win that fight. In my opinion, he could knock out Dillian White. I don't think anybody would be surprised. Dillian's been hurt numerous times before. He got knocked out by AJ. He got hurt by Hellenius, hurt by Parker, dropped by Rivas, hurt by Chisora. He's been hurt numerous times. So Povetkin knocking this guy out, certainly not out of the realms of possibility. Not in my opinion, anyway. I think he's got a good chance. Official Scorecard Boxing, I had difficulties to find some of Congo's fights. Have you ever seen him fighting well in the pocket, or is he only hugging? He's kind of like a gangly, awkward fighter. Quite a big guy for the weight, physically imposing, carries a fair bit of power. He's more comfortable on the outside. On the inside, he can work. He's got a nice uppercut, but usually he kind of smothers you. He's that sort of fighter. He's a little untidy on the inside. There's a lot of people in the trade over here, like in the boxing trade, who really rate Chris Congo. A lot of people really speak highly of him. Whereas Luther Clay, he's quite a well-rounded boxer. He's a little more proven in terms of who he's beaten. But I don't think he's got the physicality that Chris Congo has. So I am picking Chris Congo, but it's a good fight. It is a good fight. It's a good test for Chris Congo. And Luther Clay, even for him, man, that's a good opportunity to really shine on a pay-per-view card. So that's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting. That's in my opinion, that's the best fight on the undercard. You know, I know there's a lot of people out there who enjoy female boxing. I'm not the biggest fan, so yeah, Katie Taylor, Delphine Persoon too doesn't really do it for me personally. But for those who like that sort of stuff, I'm sure that's going to be a good fight. I would have liked a couple of more good fights on the undercard. You know, if we still had Kuzmin versus Bakole, I think the card would be looking a lot better. But yeah, I'm debating whether to buy this card or not, to be honest. Whether to buy it or live stream it. Not sure yet. I'm not sure. Maybe we'll live stream it. Maybe we'll be cheap and we'll live stream it. Not sure yet, to be honest. Not sure. And yeah, in America, obviously, we've got Joe Smith versus Elidia Alvarez. I think that's a really good fight, actually. I think that's a really good fight. I am leaning towards Alvarez. I've picked him on points, but, you know, he's 36 years old now. And, you know, sometimes I think he can be outworked. Sometimes he's a little lazy. Maybe against the pressure of Joe Smith, he'll break. But, you know, skill for skill, I do think Alvarez should probably have enough. You know, with the straight punching, the jab, the straight right hand, keeping it at range. He's got a longer reach. He can crack quite hard as well. So, yeah, I've got Alvarez winning that one on points. Pretty competitive, but yeah, I've got Alvarez winning on points in that one. I wouldn't be surprised if Joe hurts him a couple of times here and there. But yeah, I think Alvarez, for the most part, is going to be dictating with the jab, and he'll be picking up the rounds for the most part. Yeah, big up to Canvas Madness, aka Rob. Hopefully you're doing well, man. Hopefully you're doing well. Big Dan, he says, I'm not a betting man, but if I was, I would tell everybody to put a bet on Povetkin because it seems like you're going to get a very good return if he wins. Yeah, so Povetkin to win that fight outright, like no method of victory, he's like 3-1. So that's really good odds in itself. And for knockout, Povetkin by knockout, I think is like 6-1, something like that. So you can make some really good money on Povetkin. The odds are there. And in my opinion, it's not out of the realms of possibility that Povetkin lands a good shot and takes out Dillian. You know, Dillian at times, you know, his balance is pretty poor, especially when he throws that right hand. He'll really kind of overthrow with it and throw himself off balance. In those opportunities, you know, Povetkin can counter and, in my opinion, hurt Dillian. Dillian, at the best of times, doesn't have the greatest footwork, the greatest defense. Sometimes he's a little sloppy with distance control. The openings are going to be there for Povetkin to land big shots. You know, it's whether he can take those opportunities and nail Dillian and really hurt him. That's the thing. I personally believe he can, but we'll see. We'll see. Definitely a tough fight for both. I think it's a risky fight for Dillian to take at this stage. I think it's risky. It's got banana skin written all over it, you know. And if Povetkin did win, I wouldn't really see it as an upset, to be honest. I wouldn't be surprised in that much. Yo, big up to Boxing Virus. Big up to Boxing Virus. He says, this question is off topic, but what's your favourite soccer/football team in the Premier League, Del? Manchester United. Boxing Virus. Manchester United. Yep, I heard that, Canvas Madness. They said this last time, though, before the purse bids, that they made a deal last minute. They agreed terms. But obviously, we've not really heard anything since. It was going to go to purse bids again. And here we are. You know, they've agreed a deal again. So, Luke Campbell versus Ryan Garcia. I mean, the sooner they can get that fight done, the better, as far as I'm concerned. The sooner, the better. Because it is a really good fight, that. It's a really good fight. That's the fight we want to see from Ryan Garcia. There's been a lot of talk, a lot of social media hype. And Luke Campbell, you know, he's the guy who is going to really test Ryan. That's the acid test. If Ryan Garcia could blast out Luke Campbell, that's a hell of a victory. That's a hell of a statement. And at that point, people would start to have, you know, they would start to sort of have to take this guy seriously. But until that happens, you know, Ryan really needs to prove himself. And that's the fight to do it in. I think that's a really hard fight for Ryan. You know, Luke Campbell's a rangy southpaw, good technical boxer, Olympic pedigree. He's experienced. He's fought at world level. And in my opinion, he does have tools to really trouble Ryan. It's whether Ryan can get past that and make his youth count. Very good fight, though. Very good fight. I got a lovely cup of tea as well, lads. We got a lovely cup of tea, man. Official scorecard boxing. He says, thanks, Del. That's what I'm seeing from Congo as well. He could really keep Clay from resetting with volume from long range. Yeah, he's a really gangly, long fighter, Chris Congo. Again, a lot of people in the trade over here really rate Chris Congo. A lot of people think he's going to go far. I know he was a fairly respectable amateur, and we'll see, man. That's a good test, though. I quite like Luther Clay. I've seen a few of his interviews. He comes across really well. So I wouldn't mind to see Luther win just because I like him. But my head says Chris Congo wins that one, to be honest. My head says Chris Congo. It's a good fight, though. It's a good fight. Exactly, Canvas Madness. He says, yeah, I agree. It could be a step too far for Garcia. Luke is very well schooled. Yeah, exactly. In terms of size differences, Ryan Garcia is quite a big lightweight. I think he's like 5'11", something like that. He's a big dude, so Luke's not going to have that size advantage that he's used to having against Ryan. Maybe that could be telling. Luke's not really fought many big lightweights, you know. Obviously, Lomachenko's tiny at lightweight. Linares is a decent-sized lightweight, but not as big as Luke. Mendy, he's not the biggest lightweight. Argenis Mendez, not the biggest lightweight. Ryan Garcia is definitely going to be the biggest lightweight he's fought. So, you know, that's another thing to consider in that fight. The size of Ryan Garcia. Ryan Garcia is no small lightweight. And he can crack, from what I can see. He can punch pretty hard. Okay, MB, they said November. Is that for Ryan versus Luke? If that's the case, hopefully we see that fight. The sooner the better. Official scorecard boxing, he says, yeah, Whyte could earn it in the ring, or could even get an undeserved decision, or stop Povetkin if he turns out to be too old. So I see why he's favoured. Yeah, me too, official. That's really what I'm basing my prediction on, is the wear and tear on Povetkin. I don't think Povetkin is what I would call a shot fighter, because a shot fighter can't compete at top 10 level. And, you know, Michael Hunter arguably is a top 10 level heavyweight, and Povetkin was certainly competing. So I don't see Povetkin as shot, just a guy who's fairly far past his prime kind of thing. But he's still at a decent level, and he's still got that power. And stylistically, of course, Dillian is completely different to Michael Hunter. Jesus, that's a nice cup of tea. Yo, big up to John Wayne, man. Thank you very much, brother. Thank you very much. Nice to see you. Nice to see you, man. Boxing Virus, fantasy fight. Michael Nunn versus Andre Ward at 168. Interesting fight, that Boxing Virus. I think Michael Nunn is a better technical outside boxer. His jab was a thing of beauty. He had great hand speed. Great from range. Excellent feet. If it's a boxing match on the outside, you've got to go with Michael Nunn. If Andre Ward could make that an ugly kind of inside scrap, you favour Andre. I think Andre maybe potentially could kind of mess him around and win like a split decision. But I certainly prefer Michael Nunn out of those two. Yo, big up to Johnny Boy's Fight Palace. He says, I was hoping you or Mark would go live. Fuck, I like D, that's my boy, but his streams are out of control every single day. It's ridiculous. Yeah, man. Listen, bro, that's why I've been kind of fucking around with the live streams recently, you know, just because nothing's going to get crazy. I can talk my talk and fuck off, basically. Do you know what I mean? But big up to Johnny Boy. Check out his channel. Some good content over there, man. Some good content, bro. Some really good content. Boxing Virus. Do you think fighters like Sergio Martinez, Pacquiao, Canelo Alvarez, Dwight Muhammad Qawi are the most successful boxers who had little to no amateur fights? Yeah, they're certainly up there. I don't think Bernard Hopkins had that much of an amateur career. I know he fought in prison and things like that. Rocky Marciano didn't have much of an amateur career. There's been a few guys out there who have like really kind of come in late and had good success. At a lesser note, I think Nate Campbell, the lightweight champion, he started boxing at 24. Like he never even went in the gym until he was 24, and that guy went on to become a champion. So that's pretty impressive, man. Yeah, Garcia is Ryan Garcia is like 5'11", Luke Campbell's 5'10", I believe. Boxing Virus, he says Whyte versus Povetkin in front of no fans. Those heavyweight punches are going to sound like gunshots. Yeah, that's another thing, Boxing Virus. The fact that that fight has no fans, who does that favour? In my opinion, it's Povetkin. I see Dillian White as one of these fighters who really kind of thrives off crowd energy and the atmosphere. Some fighters really kind of feed off the crowd. I think Dillian is one of those fighters, whereas Povetkin is all about business. He could be fighting in the backyard or in front of 100,000 people. He's going to be the same guy. Do you know what I mean? Whereas Dillian White, I think he kind of thrives off that atmosphere more so than Povetkin. So that's another thing to consider. These crowdless environments, it's not you can't ignore it. We saw the other day John O'Carroll when he lost to Maxie Hughes. John O'Carroll's another guy, in my opinion, who really gets that buzz off the crowd. And he was fighting in front of no crowd the other day, and he looked flat. He looked terrible, and he lost. So that's another thing, man. Yo, Dillian White is actually a good example. Yeah, big up to Hashman Boxing. Yeah, Dillian White, he only had 7 amateur fights. Yep. He also had a few kickboxing fights as well, Dillian White. So yeah, Dillian White's done well for himself, we have to say. Vader D, he says WBC just had a Facebook Live with Hearn and Garcia's guys. Fights in America, mid to late November, and nobody's brought it up. Okay, that's a good fight. Yeah, we just talked about that earlier. Ryan Garcia versus Luke Campbell, really good fight. That's the fight we want to see, man. For Ryan Garcia in particular, we want to see how good Ryan is. Is he this hype job or is he the real deal? We're going to find out against Luke Campbell. If Ryan's not up to it, he's going to get exposed. He's going to get found out. If he's world class, chances are he beats Luke. We'll see. It's a very good fight, man. It's a very good fight. Yo, big up to Tommy Temper, man. Not seen you for a while, Tommy. Hopefully you're keeping well, man. Hopefully you're keeping well. El Padrino, Povetkin's going to kill Dillian. Could happen, bro. He could knock Dillian clean out. That's certainly not out of the realms of possibility. That could happen. Yeah, big boys. Povetkin is like some Eastern European assassin. That guy, man. Cold as ice. Cold as ice. Really good fighter as well, man. Really good fighter. Technically sound. One of the better boxers in that division. Boxing Virus, he says 5'10" is actually a normal height for 135-pounders. The BMI for that height starts at 129 to 174. Okay. Interesting. Interesting. Oh, damn, Tommy's on the grind. He's working 50 to 60 hours a week at the moment. That's a killer, man. I'm still working from home right now, bro. Still working from home, that's not ideal, but it is what it is. Still got a job, I guess. That's the main thing right now. A lot of people out there, struggling, losing their jobs, etc. So I'm definitely grateful in that sense, to still have a job in this age with what's going on. Could always be worse, right? So I shouldn't really moan, bro. I shouldn't really moan, innit? But yeah, man, there's some sick fights this weekend. Not many people are talking about Sean Porter. I forgot Sean Porter was even fighting this weekend, to be honest. Sean Porter is fighting the German dude. What's his face? Sebastian Formella. I've seen Formella fight. I've seen him fight like once before. And he's okay. He's like a European level fighter. Kind of a stand-up boxer. Straight punches, high guard. Not particularly not anywhere close to world level. I would say Sean Porter gets this guy out of there late. Sean Porter, he's gonna do the job in that fight. If anybody deserves like a lower level fight, it's Sean Porter, to be fair. That guy fights pretty much anybody, Sean Porter. So yeah, I'm not really mad at Sean for taking that fight. If anybody deserves like a touch right now, it's Sean Porter. Last 3 fights, Sean Porter's fought Danny Garcia, Yordenis Ugas, and Errol Spence Jr. So yeah, Sebastian Formella. I'm not too I'm not too upset about that. Yeah, big up to Johnny Boy, man. Yeah, smash the like, man. Smash the like. Oh, Tommy Temper, he's working from home as well. Yeah, me too, Tommy. Yeah, I've saved a fair bit of money on petrol. Oh, Jesus. We are back. What happened there, man? Jesus Christ. Anyway, we're back. Yeah, my fucking StreamYard just crashed for some reason, whatever. But yeah, big up to St. Brit Sports, man. Big up to St. Brit. Big up to Max Kuckerman. He says Sal Alvarez is a bum. Jim McDonald, man. Hopefully Liz is doing well, mate. Hopefully Liz is doing well. Keeping herself in tip-top shape, of course. You've been sparring her and whatnot. Big up to Liz at the Rovers return. He spent a lot on green, though. Fair play, Tommy. Fair play, bro. You got to spend that money elsewhere somehow, man. Why not on green, right? That's a good investment. That's a good investment. Big Boys Boxing. Did Eddie find a replacement for Bakole versus Kuzmin? I think it was Babic versus Shaundell Winters, that's an okay fight. It's a good test for Alan Babic. He's only had 3 fights, I guess. Shaundell Winters, he's beat a few prospects before, like Alexander Teslenko, so that's a decent little test, I guess. It is what it is. I don't think the card's the strongest, in all honesty, the Whyte Povetkin card. I would have liked another sort of high-profile male fight on there, if I'm being honest. You know, something more high level. You know, big up to Nordic Warrior. Big up to Nordic. Oh, really? Lerone Richards is fighting Fedor Chudanov in Russia. Okay, that's a weird fight to make. Fair play, though. A lot of like UK fighters won't go to like Russia and places like that. So I'll give them credit for going to Russia. Fedor Chudanov's not a bad fighter at all. Former super middleweight champion. That's a good test for him. If he can go to Russia, get the job done, that's a good win. That's a good win. Yeah, exactly, Nordic. I mean, Avni Yildirim, Jesus Christ. Let's be honest, yeah. Avni Yildirim, he made Chris Eubank Jr. look like Sugar Ray Leonard reincarnated. That's what he made fucking Chris Eubank look like. Chris Eubank looked like $1 million that night. Avni Yildirim, man. Avni is like a European level fighter. That's what he is. Sort of a basic European level fighter. He doesn't belong anywhere near a WBC title shot. You know, they said they gave him that shot because he was hard done by against Anthony Durrell. Well, he never deserved that title shot in the first place either. What's this guy done? Who's he beat? He beat an ancient Glenn Johnson. That's his best win. That's his best win. This guy's done absolutely nothing. What's the crack? What is the crack with this guy? Does he have like fucking nudes of Maurizio Suleiman? Is that what it is? He's got some dirt on Maurizio. That's why he's getting this title shot. Absolutely embarrassing. Embarrassing, man. Do you know what I mean? It's fucking embarrassing. Jesus Christ. What a load of shit, man. What a load of shit. Fuck me. Yeah, I saw that, Tommy Temper. I saw that as well, bro. That was funny as fuck. I was fucking creasing when I saw that video, you know. I was creasing. Nordic's a funny dude, man. Nordic's a funny dude. Yeah, big up to Crazy D3 as well, man. Good to see you here. You know, one of the long-time supporters. A lot of you guys here are long-time supporters, to be fair. So fair play to you all, man. Fair play to you all. You guys are legends. You guys are fucking legends. Yeah, man, I am genuinely looking forward to this weekend of boxing. It's the first weekend of boxing I've looked forward to for quite some time. Quite some time. Yeah, the name Max Kuckerman made me chuckle. Yeah, it's a good name, to be fair. It's a good name. Yeah, the shit was brutal, Johnny. Nordic went in there, man, like a prime Gennady Golovkin and took fucking heads, man. that was a fucking amazing video. Yeah, Avni Yildirim, I'll be honest, Boxing Virus. Yildirim was unlucky against Durrell. I thought he was winning that fight until the cut, but it was pretty close, let's be honest. I thought it was pretty close. And let's be honest, how good is Anthony Durrell now? Not really that good, is he? Do you know what I mean? If Avni was genuine world class, he would have beat the brakes off Anthony Durrell. But yeah, he still struggled. So Yeah, Canelo versus Avni Yildirim. That's a poor fight. That's really a poor fight. And DAZN are paying this guy $32 million a fight. I can't imagine DAZN are too happy about this opponent. And I'm sure they might actually kick back on this one. Maybe they'll refuse it. And that in itself is going to cause a lot of chaos over at Golden Boy. To be honest with you, I think Canelo regrets signing that deal with DAZN. I think he regrets it. Because DAZN have tried to put pressure on him in certain circumstances. They have tried to put pressure on him. So, yeah, I think Canelo regrets that deal with DAZN. Yes, sir, Johnny, man. It's a great night of boxing, mate. It's a great night of boxing. I love that Alvarez, the Alvarez Smith fight. That's a great fight, you know. That's what, yeah, Nordic. I said that yesterday I think I said it yesterday in my video. Arthur Abraham is like a poor man's, Avni Yildirim is like a poor man's Arthur Abraham. Not as tough, not as durable, not as powerful, not as skilled. He's like a poor man's Arthur Abraham. And Arthur Abraham was better than people give him credit for. He was a good fighter, you know. He was a good fighter. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. No doubt, Johnny. Yep. Whyte Povetkin, good fight. Alvarez Smith, good fight. And Porter with a tune-up. Nice Saturday evening, gents. Yeah, exactly, bro. Exactly. And listen, I don't mind Sean Porter having a tune-up, to be honest. You know, that guy fights good competition. One of the few PBC guys who is genuinely willing to like really fight anybody. He's that sort of fighter. So I've got no problem with Sean Porter. No problem at all. Yep, Johnny. Yeah, first real weekend of boxing we've had since the pandemic. Yep, over here, you know, we've had some domestic shows, like domestic level fights, like this fucking fight camp shit. And Frank Warren's had a couple of shows here and there, but all domestic level. In the US, you know, they've had those summer top rank cards, but full of mismatches. This is the first weekend where we have fights where we could genuinely see them going either way. You wouldn't be surprised either way. This is the first weekend, really. You know, first weekend. Yeah, exactly, Cop End. That goes to show Lemieux would be a better chance than Lemieux would be a better opponent than Yildirim, 100%, because at least Lemieux can punch. Yildirim doesn't really carry that much power at world level. He's going to get pieced up and fucked up. That's what's going to happen. Yeah, but still, Copend, man, like, I think it's the freedom of that deal. He seems to be a bit tetchy with DAZN right now. That the whole relationship between Golden Boy, Canelo, DAZN just seems to be a bit tetchy, you know, from the outside looking in. They seem to be, I can't see them being happy with this opponent. I'd be surprised if they approved it, to be honest, especially with what's going on now. They're going to want to like regain subscribers and build their subscriber base back up. Does Yildirim versus Canelo enable that? I don't think so. I don't think so. Yeah, exactly, Nordic. Fury's not interested in the Dillian fight. He wants the big payday with AJ. Yeah, exactly. I mean, me personally, I don't hate that fight with Dillian White. I really don't. It is his mandatory after all, so you know he should really fight him. But at the same time, I do want to see Undisputed sooner rather than later. You know, the powers that be were talking like the Undisputed fight was priority when that announcement was made. Well, that's clearly not the case, is it? It's clearly not the case when these guys have got to fight 2 fights each beforehand. That's not the case. They should have. The fact of the matter is, they should have never talked about Fury versus Joshua agreeing a deal. They shouldn't have released that to the public, in my opinion, because it's so far away. And yeah, the fact they said it was priority is a lie, because it's not. It's not priority at all. But yeah, in an ideal world, if Tyson Fury vacates that belt, then we have to call him out on it, because you know that's part of being a champion, is fighting your mandatories, whether we like it or not. Sometimes the mandatories are good, sometimes they're bad. It is what it is. But Tyson, yeah, he does need to fight Dillian, and like Joshua needs to fight Pulev and Usyk. These guys have got to get it out of the way, I guess. Yes, sir. Believe I can. Man like Del Boy hold the microphone like a grudge. Top two. He's not top. He's not two. Big up to Levi, man. Man like Levi. Man like Levi. Yeah, Lalenga Mock. Yep, he nearly KO'd David Haye. Yep, that was in David Haye's like a 7th or 8th fight, something like that. Yeah, exactly, man. Lalenga Mock was a decent fighter. He was a decent fighter. Big up to Johnny. Yeah, he says, "What's up, official? I think I might break down Derevyanchenko versus Charlo tonight if you're free. I'd like to jump on." Yeah, that's a good fight. Yeah, that's a good fight. Charlo Derevyanchenko. I think Derevyanchenko is going to give him hell, to be honest with you. I think he's going to give him hell. I think he's going to give him hell. I agree, Nordic. I think Derevyanchenko could beat Charlo. And if he does beat Charlo, he needs to get to the inside. I don't think he can keep it on the outside against Charlo. He needs to get on his chest and work, create angles, work the body. And I don't think Charlo can really cope with that. Charlo's not a great inside fighter. He likes time and space to land that jab and follow through with that straight right hand. He likes to get real purchase and leverage on his straight punches. That's what Charlo really likes to do. He's like a boxer puncher, whereas Derevyanchenko is more of an inside fighter. So if Derevyanchenko can get on the inside, I certainly think he can win that fight. He can win that fight. Ian Ward, big up to Ian, man. Hopefully you're doing well. Del, who do you think Eddie Hearn's next big signings might be? Love the channel, brother. Thank you very much, mate. I'm sure when the next Olympics happen, he'll sign the high-level amateurs, like Pat McCormack and people like that. I'm sure these guys are gonna go to Eddie Hearn. In terms of like international signings, I don't really see much happening in the foreseeable future with what's going on. I don't think these promoters are really going to be willing to push the boat out and take risks right now. I mean, Matchroom have actually let a few fighters go in the US. They let Danny Roman go. They let Murat Gassiev go. They let Michael Hunter go. I don't think we're going to see Eddie make many signings in the next few months. I really don't. I really don't. If he signs people, it's going to be like UK domestic fighters, in my opinion. That's how I see it anyway. Could be wrong. Yeah, I saw that, Levi. Sergio Garcia is fighting on Friday in Spain in a Stay Busy fight. Yep, that's on the undercard of Sergio Martinez versus whoever he's fighting. Sergio Martinez making a comeback, man. Can't believe it. Can't believe it. Jesus Christ. It's crazy, isn't it? How old Sergio Martinez now? About 45 years old? Something like that? Crazy. Crazy shit. Crazy shit. AA Boxing and Blunt. Stel, what do you make of the Congo Clay fight? I've got Chris Congo, AA. I'm leaning towards Chris Congo. I think he might be a bit too physical for Luther Clay. I think he hits a bit harder, stronger physically. Yeah, I think he might be a bit too big, to be honest. Luther Clay's got more experience, though, so there's that. There's that. But it's a good fight. It's a good fight. Nordic Warrior, Matchroom should stay in the UK. They lost money in America and failed badly. Yeah, I'm not convinced in regards to what Matchroom are doing in the US. They've had a couple of good cards here and there, like the Akhmadaliev versus Danny Roman card earlier this year before Corona. That was a pretty good card, but like it's hit and miss over there with Matchroom. It seems to be hit and miss. They've had a few good cards, but yeah, they're certainly not making any money. I'll tell you that much. I think Stevie Wonder can see that. Do you know what I mean? Yep, Juan Pablo Hernandez is coming back this weekend. Yep. He's only like 34, 35 years old. 6 years out of a ring. Used to be a Cruiserweight champion. Yeah, I think he'll win that fight. I think he'll win that fight. So, yeah, he was a good fighter back in the day, Hernandez. Good boxer. He had like good power, good technical ability, but his chin was never the best. And his stamina back in the day wasn't the greatest. So we'll see what he looks like when he comes back. We'll see what he looks like. Yeah, I liked Hernandez as well, Nordic. I liked his style. He wasn't like a stereotypical Cuban. He did actually try to knock people out. He could get technical, don't get me wrong, but he would apply himself a bit more in there. You know, he would try to go for knockouts. Oh, yeah, Adesanya versus Costa is this weekend. Yeah, I forgot about that, Big Dan. That's a good fight. That's a good fight, man. I'm not sure who's going to win that one. Costa looks like a fucking steroid freak, I'll tell you that much. That guy, mate, if that guy is clean, then I'm a Dutchman. That guy is juiced to the gills, Paulo Costa. Jesus Christ. Yep, Ruslan Pfeiffer versus Alexei Papin in Russia. Yep, cruiserweight fight. That's a WBC eliminator. Good fight, that. I make Papin a favourite. I prefer Papin anyway. Not really a big fan of Ruslan Pfeiffer. He's a little negative in my opinion. He's awkward, but a little negative, whereas Papin comes to fight. So I'm going with Papin in that one. I think he'll do too much. Like Nordic said, yeah, he's like a mauler. Yeah, that's the best way I can describe him. Like a mauler, yeah. Like awkward, horrible to fight. I don't really like his style that much, to be honest. I don't really like his style. Oh, yeah, Hernandez versus Huck. That could still happen, yeah. Still be a big fight as well. Still be a big fight. Dillian White weight prediction. I'm going to go about 250, crazy D3. About 250. Maybe high 240s. But I'd say 250. Yeah, exactly. Perfect time to nap in between Clay Congo and Whyte Povetkin. Yep. I won't be watching the Katie Taylor fight. I'll be doing something else more than likely. Making a cup of tea, having a wank, whatever. Big Dan, he's going to guess 262.5 pounds. Jesus. If Dillian comes in that heavy, man, he's going to be in trouble, in my opinion. Does O'Hara Davis beat Tyrone McKenna next month in the final? Do you know what? I think he does. I don't rate O'Hara Davis that highly, but I really don't rate Tyrone McKenna. I really don't. He's a tall, lanky guy who never boxes, to his strengths. He gets involved far too much. And listen, at that level, O'Hara can punch. So I've got O'Hara Davis knocking out Tyrone McKenna, to be honest. And the truth of the matter is, Tyrone lost his last fight anyway. He got a gift decision. That MTK corruption. Yeah, I remember that fight, Nordic. That was Hernandez's last fight, I believe. I think that was like a split decision in the end. Something like that. Yeah, it was a good fight, though. You're right. Yeah, Jack Cullen versus Zach Chelly on a pay-per-view during a pandemic is bad business. Just saying, yeah. I mean, that fight, yeah, it's a good domestic scrap. But should it be on a pay-per-view? Nah, not really. It's a good little fight, but surely we need to expect better than that. Oh, overhand, yeah. So I saw a video of Sergio on Twitter hitting the pads, and he looked amateurish. He looked really poor. He looked sluggish. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if he lost this weekend, to be honest. I wouldn't be surprised if he lost. Levi's got O'Hara by early KO against McKenna. I wouldn't be surprised, to be honest. Tyrone McKenna, man, his distance control for a tall guy is terrible. He's got no defense. I don't think he's all that durable, to be honest. Yeah, I think he'll beat Tyrone. But as Nordic said right here, can you really trust O'Hara Davis? He's got quit in him. O'Hare, big up to O'Hare. He says Pfeiffer Papin is the most competitive fight on paper this weekend. One of the most competitive on paper anyway. Yeah, it's a good fight, O'Hare. It's a good fight. Really good fight. That's the WBC eliminator as well. So a lot to play for there. A lot to play for. Yep, that's true, Nordic. Yep, Vasquez. Yep, he clearly beat. He clearly beat Davis. Yep. Jesus. Exactly, Nordic. I'm going to go for a 20-minute piss during the Taylor fight. Yep. Jesus. Yeah, still no news on Maris Briedis versus Junior Dorticos. Yep, that's a shame, that is, because that's a great fight. Funnily enough, Dorticos is another Cuban I like, because he doesn't fight anything like a Cuban. He just goes in there to take your head off. And I like Briedis as well, so that's a good fight. I think Briedis wins that one, but you can never really rule out Dorticos just due to his physicality and his power. He's got a chance in that one. And you can unsettle Briedis. You can make him come out of his rhythm. We saw that in against what's his face? Noel Givor. He'd done a good job of that as well. So yeah. Crazy D3, he said Pursoon mauled Katie in their first fight, better than expected. Yeah, I saw bits of that. I was watching that with the lads. We bought that pay-per-view, that Joshua Ruiz pay-per-view, and I wasn't really paying attention, to be honest. I can't lie. For fuck's sake, Ian Weather, big up to Ian Weather. Thoughts on Dennis Hobson getting caught being sucked off by a bloke in a car? Fuck's sake, man. Jesus Christ. If that is true, then I probably won't say that because I'll get my channel shut down, but fuck that guy, I guess. Fuck that guy. Yeah, Johnny, yeah. I've not really, to be honest with you, I've not really looked at the card. All I know is that main event is looking pretty solid. I do like that fight. It is a good fight, man. I don't really like either guy, though, Johnny. I'll be honest. That Paulo Costa seems like a complete prick. And Adesanya just seems corny to me. You know, he comes in with that anime shit and all that nonsense. So, yeah, both of those guys seem corny to me. So I don't really care who wins. I don't really care who wins that one. Yeah, Sergio might be broke. He might be broke, yeah. Unfortunately. He was a good fighter back in the day, Sergio, but injuries just caught up with him. And that was a wrap then. The Martin Murray fight, he should have really retired then, to be honest. Because he lost to Martin Murray. He really did. He lost to Martin Murray. Yeah, exactly, Nordic. Sergio was great in his prime, but now he's got no chance against any decent level journeyman. Yeah, exactly. His knees have gone, man. Like, his knees have gone, his legs have gone. The workout video I saw of him doing the pads, he looked terrible. He looked terrible. Like, no purchase on his punches. He looked sloppy, sluggish. Yeah, he looked like an old man, and that's what he is. He's an old man. And I used to really like Sergio. Sergio was one of my favourite fighters back in the day. He really was. He really was. I love Sergio's style. You know, hands down, moving around, combinations, power, explosiveness, reaction time. Sergio was really good to watch back in the day. But that's long gone. That's long gone. Yeah, Porter's going to smash up Formella. Yeah, no doubt. No doubt. Formella is like just a European level fighter, kind of upright. He's got that stereotypical German style, basically. You know, high guard, straight punches, jab. I don't think that's going to work against Sean Porter. I don't think he's got the physicality to keep Sean Porter at bay. Sean Porter's a tough old fucker. And I think Sean's going to walk him down, dog him, and basically beat him up on the inside, stop him late on. Yeah, Briedis versus Dorticos would have been epic. Shame it's probably passed by, yeah. Hopefully they can get that fight back on. They've not confirmed that it's been cancelled. It looks like they're still trying to reschedule it. So hopefully, fingers crossed, that fight happens soon. Fingers crossed that fight happens soon. Because that'll be a crying shame if we don't get that fight. The two best cruiserweights right now, in my opinion. I don't think anybody can really disagree with that one. The only other guy in with a shout's Makabu right now. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I've seen that. Yeah, Pool 123, I've seen that news. A new division between cruiserweight and heavyweight. So it would be called the Super Cruiserweight division, weight limit 225 pounds. I don't like the idea. Leave it as it is. There's enough divisions in boxing already as far as I'm concerned. And the fact that fucking Tony Bellew is on the committee to actually discuss this winds me up even more. Leave it alone. We don't need any more divisions as far as I'm concerned. We don't need any. If you're a world-class cruiserweight, right, and you're good enough, you can go up and make a splash at heavyweight. That's what it is, man. That's what it is. Leave it as it is. That's what I say. Just leave it. Leave it alone. Leave it alone. Leave it alone. Yeah, big up to Intangible Boxing. Shout out to Intangible. Yeah, shout out to Unrivaled as well. I see you, Unrivaled. I see you. What is this status, Unrivaled? Is this going to wind me up? Is this going to wind me up? What have you shared here? What's this shit? Oh, no, that's not going to wind me up. Yeah, we saw that earlier. Yeah, done deal in regards to Luke Campbell, Ryan Garcia. Yeah, that's good news. That's great news. How do you see the Shakan Pitters versus Chad Sugden fight, Blue Collar Sports? Shakan Pitters on points. Ian. I've got Shakan Pitters. Oh, O'Hare, he's got Makabu as number 1. He beat Kudryashov, Papin, and Sislak within 6 months. Top run, in my opinion. Yeah, that is a good run, to be fair, O'Hare. And 2 of those fights were away from home. So yeah, he's on a good run, Makabu. He's still on a good run. Ian Ward, who wins between Callum Johnson and Joshua Buatsi? That's a hell of a fight. The fact that that fight's not even being talked about is a crime, you know, considering both guys are with Matchroom. There's no reason that fight can't happen. But who would I pick? Both guys have been so inactive in the past 12 months. You know, Callum always picks up injuries. He's not the healthiest guy outside the ring. I see it as like a 50-50 right now, to be honest. I see it as a 50-50. I don't know, you know. Do you know what? I might side with Buatsi just because he's younger and fresher, not picked up as many injuries. But I'm really not sure, to be honest. I'm really not sure. Like MB says, Buatsi might have even regressed by now. Yeah, Buatsi's not fought since the Lomachenko-Campbell undercard. That's the last time he fought. So when he does fight, which is September, he would have been out of the ring for more than a year. That's not good for a young pro. That's not good at all. That's not good for development or anything like that. So, yeah, he needs to get back active. He needs to fight in September and hopefully fight once more after that this year, maybe in December, and against a good opponent. Now, Buatsi, they say he's fighting in September. I've heard the name Dudu Ngumbu being bandied around for his opponent. Ngumbu obviously fought Alexander Vodcik in a title fight and lost. That's the opponent they're talking about for Buatsi, you know, as a comeback fight. If he does fight somebody like that, after that, I would like to see him fight someone like Shabransky, somebody along that level, you know. Put that on the double I sent you. Yes, sir, Unrivaled. Big up to Unrivaled, man. Big up. I saw a comment here. I hate intangible boxing news. I hate Tony Bellew. In fact, I watched him get bodied by Adonis Stevenson the other day. It was fun. Yeah, that was probably the only time I was Team Stevenson. When he fought Tony Bellew, I was the biggest Stevenson fan in England. Trust me. Nordic Warrior, Makabu better stop beating my Russian broskies. Yeah, Makabu's on a good run, man. Makabu's a good fighter, to be fair. Now, that was a good win by Tony Bellew. Lunga Makabu. That win does look good right now, to be fair. That win does look good. Max Kuckerman, boxing is the only sport where you have to talk about second-level competition because the best never compete. Good shout, Max. That's a good shout. We've got to be grateful for second best, basically, in boxing. That's what it seems like sometimes. You are right. You are right. And big up to Unrivaled for the super chat as well, man. Big up to Unrivaled. Yeah, he is tough, O'Hare. He says Makabu got hurt against Machunu, Kudryashov, Papin, and Sislak, but just kept fighting. He's something else. Only Bellew KO'd him at the top. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Yeah, exactly, Nordic. I've not had a fruit shoot in years, you know. I might treat myself. Yeah, not having the Cruiserweight finals is like having sex without coming. Exactly, man. Exactly. That's a great fight, man. Yeah, Makabu definitely right now is at the top, you know, top 3 in the Cruiserweight division. Hopefully he fights the winner of Dorticos and Briedis, because that would make for a great fight. I think he would deserve that fight as well. Yeah, exactly. I overhand. Yep. Joshua Buatsi was supposed to be on the fast track calling out Yard. He's been really quiet since Johnson has been calling him out. Yeah, exactly. And the thing that winds me up, right? When Anthony Yard was on the come-up, before the Kovalev fight, Eddie Hearn could not help but talk about Anthony Yard and his matchmaking, how slowly he was being moved along, etc., etc. Well, Buatsi's got more amateur experience than Yard, and Yard got to where he got to in that short amount of time. What's Eddie doing with Joshua Buatsi right now? We heard Eddie say that Anthony Yard should fight Callum Johnson, Hosea Burton. He was begging for these fights, right? Why is Eddie not putting Buatsi in with Callum Johnson? Where's the same energy, right? Where is it? And by the way, Buatsi is a guy with amateur background. So yeah, I do. Yeah, I like Buatsi, by the way. I think he's a good fighter, but just the inactivity right now is kind of killing his career. Yeah, they was talking. Yeah, I remember Caparello, MB. They was talking about Blake Caparello for Buatsi. Again, that's okay right now. That's okay right now for where he's at. No problem on my end. Copendo9, any unofficial streams for the Martinez card? If I'm not doing anything, I'll give it a watch. Yeah, me too, Copend. I'll give it a watch. I watched through fucking my hands though, because I used to really like Sergio. Max Kuckerman, why do boxing fans have to talk about Buatsi? Because the best fights never happen. Yeah, we're talking about a prospect. You know? Oh, big up to Bad Nasher, man. I'm glad you're enjoying it, bro. I'm glad you're enjoying it. I feel like I've kind of been slacking recently, so I'm going to try and pick it back up. Especially with like post-fight reviews, because all of these fights that have taken place on weekends, apart from this weekend, basically I've been out every single weekend getting pissed up, to be honest with you. And yeah, I've just not been doing a lot of these post-fight reviews. So hopefully this weekend we're in and I can sit back, enjoy the boxing, do a few post-fights. Yeah, man, you know. Yeah. Nordic Warrior, I was honestly relieved when Bellew was sparked by Usyk. I left him alone afterwards as he requested. Yep. But hopefully he got home safely to his wife and kids. That's the main thing. That's the main thing. I would ask him, but, you know, he wants to be left alone. So what can I say? What can I say? Yeah, O'Hare, yeah. Brieda sells a lot of tickets in Latvia. He does. In Riga, he sells out that arena. And that crowd, by the way, when Briedis fights, that crowd is fucking lively. That crowd is lively. They got some good fans out there in Riga, in Latvia. They got some good fans. Jerome Benjamin, yeah, Stevenson definitely shut Bellew up that night. Yeah, he did. He did. That was amazing. Like, to see Bellew's head get rocked back by that straight left hand, it looked so fucking funny. Yeah, the referee, man, really saved him because he was going to get seriously hurt. He was going to get seriously hurt. Yeah, by the way, Nordic, I think Adonis Stevenson at that time would have knocked out Kyle Froch. I really do. As much as I didn't like Adonis Stevenson as a person, and even how he managed his career, I did genuinely think that guy was a much better fighter than he actually cared to prove. I think Adonis was a very good fighter. A bit one-dimensional, don't get me wrong, but what he did was very effective. His distance control was very good as well. He had unusually long arms for a guy that short. And the thing is, it kind of baited his opponents. They used to think they was out of range, then they'd get cracked by a straight left that they didn't see coming. Adonis was a good fighter, just a scumbag of a person, basically. And the fact that we never got that Kovalev-Adonis fight, it still fucking winds me up to this day. People talk about Manny Pacquiao versus Floyd not happening in their prime, things like that, but Kovalev versus Stevenson was one of the best fights we never got last decade. It might be the best fight we never got last decade, to be honest. 2013, 2014, Kovalev-Stevenson, what a fight that would have been. Here he is, Tony Bellew. Here he is. He just wants to be left alone. Oh, shit. I do like a Tony Bellew bot account. Big up to Anthony Bellew. Have you guys noticed that? Like, Tony Bellew wants to be Anthony Joshua. He's calling himself Anthony and all that stuff. It's embarrassing. It really is. My name's Anthony now. I'm retired. My name's Anthony. Get the fuck out of here, man. He was even getting introduced as Anthony Bellew towards the end. Embarrassing. OMB thinks it's Buatsi. He thinks he's a bit of a diva. Yeah, I don't get that impression with Buatsi, to be honest. He just seems like a quiet, like, religious kind of guy. Like, he's obviously Christian. He takes that seriously. He just doesn't talk too much. He doesn't really put himself out there enough, Buatsi. O'Hare, he says, I doubt Maccabi unifies. Don King was trying to get involved in the Sislak fight. The Democratic Republic of Congo government funded that event. It was on Congolese national TV, yeah. Yeah, Don King, man. Don King is the fact that Don King still has clause in certain fighters is crazy. It really is. I don't know why Makabu signed with him, because Makabu is going to get put on the shelf real soon, isn't he? Yeah, exactly, Nordic. Yeah, Dudu's like, he's awkward, isn't he? Dudu and Gumbu. He's awkward as hell. And maybe for Buatsi, that's a good opponent. It's going to take him some rounds. He'll have to work out how to stop him. You know, he's not going to give away the stoppage in that fight. So, yeah, maybe that's a good comeback fight for Buatsi. Yeah, man, I have been slacking a bit, bro. I have been slacking a bit. Done a couple vids yesterday, you know, but we'll try and get there. We'll try and get there, bro. Yeah, exactly, Nordic. Briedis is probably one of the biggest stars in Latvia right now, full stop. One of the biggest sports stars. And yeah, shout out to Tony again. I'm glad Tony's here. Maybe we can get Tony on for an interview one time. But he wants to be left alone, so maybe that's asking too much. Maybe maybe I'm asking too much. Yeah, Al Heyman killed his career by stopping that Kovalev fight. Yep, I agree. And listen, man, back in the day, right, I was leaning towards Kovalev, but I wasn't confident at all in regards to that fight. I wasn't confident at all. Stevenson could have easily won that fight if he landed clean, 100%. That's the fact, and that's why I'm pissed we never saw it, because they're the sort of fights we want to see. Fights where you go into it and you think to yourself, even if you pick someone to win, you're not entirely sure. You know, you're kind of worried. They're the sort of fights I want to see. Even if it's a fighter I like, I want to see these guys in there with people who I think could beat them. Because where's the fun in watching these guys fight bums when you know they're going to win? Where's the fun in that? Where's the fun in it? Yeah, Froch definitely had a great career, no doubt. But he left a lot of money on the table. Yeah, never moving up. There were certain fights out there for him that he could have taken. I would have liked a Pascal rematch, like you said, Paul. Maybe dabbled at 175. Maybe tried to fight Bernard Hopkins. That could have been decent. Yeah, big up to St. Brit, bro. Big up to St. Brit. Yeah, he fucked up Chad Dawson. Yeah, he fucking laid that guy out like a fucking... He folded him like a pack of cards, honestly. Yeah, I see the comparison, Intangible. I do see the comparison. That lead left hand was a very good punch. Very good punch. Tony Bellew is for David Brent of boxing. Fuck's sake. Yeah, official, man. Somebody would have got knocked out in that fight. No doubt about it. Somebody would have got knocked spark out. Whether it be Kovalev or Stevenson. Imagine that fight being a dull, boring fight, though. Like a chess match. You never know. Tony Bellew, your wife and kids need slapping. Jesus Christ. Ah, shit. Yeah. Yeah, Duodola, yeah, he was good, man. He was a good, like, fringe contender at his best. He went 1-for-1 with Kudryashov. He's a hard bastard, like you said. He's a hard bastard, yeah. Good little fighter as well. Well, not little, but yeah, a good fighter. No, I just want to be left alone. I don't want to make any more damage. 3 or 4 more interviews this week and I'm done. You'll never see me again. Yep. And here we are. Now Tony Bellew's come out of, like, he's retired now. We see more of Tony Bellew now than we did when he was active. Every time I turn on fucking TV, on Sky Sports, this cunt's on the TV. Everywhere. Tony Bellew's everywhere. But leave him alone, though, guys. Leave him alone. Christ. Nordic wanted Froch to fight Klitschko. I know Nordic doesn't like Carl Froch. I liked Carl, man. Carl was okay. Copendo 9, who has taken over from Darnell Boone as the dangerous journeyman gatekeeper? Dangerous journeyman gatekeeper. I guess you could put Gabriel Rosado in that category. Kamil Sakalovsky at heavyweight is up there. You know, guys like that, maybe. Yeah. Duradola was once a bottom half, top 10 fighter, if I remember correctly. He was beaten by Briedis, then got picked apart by Vlasov, who was a super light heavyweight, to be honest. Yeah. Yeah, Duradola, he was top 10, I think, after he knocked out Kudryashov. I think that's when he got ranked top 10. Interesting, this one. Del, what are your thoughts on Dave Caldwell being in the corner for Dillian White? Well, interesting because we're less than a week away from the fight now, and they've made this addition to the corner. Does that tell us that Dillian's not completely sold on Xavier Miller, his new trainer? You know, isn't he convinced by Miller's experience level? You know, that's why he's getting an older head in there to kind of assist. I don't know, man. I'm not sure. I think there's more going on. With the whole Dillian White thing, I think there's more gone on there than we realise. There's more to that than meets the eye, as far as I'm concerned. I think there's more to that than meets the eye. I wouldn't be surprised, by the way, if Xavier Miller is a stopgap for this fight, and after this fight, Dillian gets a new long-term trainer, like an established long-term trainer. I wouldn't be surprised if that's the case. I really wouldn't. And maybe that could be Dave Caldwell. That could be the case. It could be Dave Caldwell who's going to be training Dillian after this fight. I think that's what's going to happen. That's what I think is going to happen. Put the camera away, Cougs. What does he say? I'm here at the boxing to support my friend. I can't do a Scouse accent, so I ain't going to try. Ian Weather, he says, Bellew's going to call out White on Saturday. Man wants a PPB. Yeah. Well, imagine if Povetkin wins. Will he call out Povetkin? Pay-per-view, yeah. Yeah. Intangible. I personally want to see Callum Smith fight Wilder. I don't rate Wilder skill-wise, but if I could choose anybody to absolutely lay Callum Smith out, it would be Wilder. You really don't like Callum Smith, Intangible. Callum Smith is one of those guys who I just don't care about. I just don't care. Like, the guy is so fucking irrelevant right now. I mean, he needs to rematch John Ryder. That's what needs to happen. That's the fight that he should have taken fucking straight away. They should have gone straight into negotiations for a rematch, right that wrong, because he never won that fight. You know, he never won that fight. Get back in there with Ryder, do a job on Ryder, and after that, your reputation has been restored, I guess. But he's not willing to do it. Callum Smith is knocking around, looking for a big payday, basically. He's waiting around for the perfect opportunity, and in the meantime, he's going to do absolutely nothing. The same as Billy Joe Saunders. In reality, those guys should be fighting as well. Billy Joe and Callum Smith. Again, same promoter, same weight class. We're nowhere near close to that fight. Why is that? Why is that fight not happening? I mean, that wasn't even close to being made before the pandemic, so come on. Yeah, Sokolowski, yeah, he just got knocked out by Zan Kazabutsky, the prospect out of Eastern Europe. Yeah, Vaughan Alexander, that's a good shout for Journeyman. Yep. Oh, Leeds have got a new kit out, St. Britt. Your new Premier League kit, your fancy new kit. Okay, I'll have a look at it later. I mean, I'd rather have a physical version because I've run out of fucking toilet paper. So, yeah, if you could give me a physical version, that'd be much appreciated. But I've not seen that, Nordic. Is it on the Carnival channel or the Fight Film channel? I've not seen that. Yeah, I saw that, Copend 09. Imagine Tony Bellew being in charge of the committee. Jesus Christ. Oh, God. His first statement to the committee, lads, I just want to be left alone. Oh, my days. Tony Bellew, I'll be commentating this Saturday with my good friend, Anthony Joshua. Tune in and buy the pay-per-view on Saturday for maximum violence. Yeah, big up to Tony Bellew. Big up to Tony Bellew. That's jokes. Hopefully, he was making a video about boxing being dead. Then he was like, hopefully Khan can get knocked out one last time, though. Wouldn't be the worst thing, laugh out loud. Yeah, exactly, Bad Nasher. Yeah, Callum Smith's a non-entity. Yeah, exactly. He's irrelevant right now, you know? And it's frustrating because there's 2 fights there for him. There's a path for him. The Ryder rematch, if you beat John Ryder, unify with Billy Joe. That's a great path right there. I mean, if he were to beat John Ryder in a rematch in good fashion, his reputation gets restored. Then he can go into a unification fight with Billy Joe. If he beats Billy Joe, then he's right up there again. But yeah, he needs to do something. I mean, his last 2 fights, what? A robbery over John Ryder, and he beat up a middleweight in Hassan and Dam. Not good. It's not good enough. It really isn't good enough, is it? Let's be honest. Ain't good enough. Who are the other fighters Coldwell's been working with? He actually used to train Tony Bellew, official, when Bellew became champion. He trained Anthony Fowler until recently. He's trained a few fighters here and there. He was part of the coaching staff when David Hay fought back in the day. He's been knocking around for a few years, Dave Coldwell. He's been knocking around for a few years. But yeah, he's okay. He's an okay trainer, in my opinion. Yeah, Cavanide. I'm not sure whether I'm going to buy it, to be honest. I'll probably live stream it. I'll go on Crack Streams. By the way, lads, best stream site if you want to live stream, Crack Streams. Pretty good site. Pretty smooth, good quality. So yeah, crackstreams.net, I think it's called. Just Google, Google Crack Streams and you'll find it straight away. Yeah, ABC Def. Callum Smith has no personality. The amount of times I've forgotten he's existed is funny. Needs to talk some shit and get his name out there. Yeah, exactly. He needs to fight people, bro. He needs to fight people. Intangible boxing news. I don't like Callum Smith. I think his skills suck. He is barely world level. Yeah, he is a barely world level skill set, and I hate his face and voice. Hope he fights Canelo instead of the atrocity that is Alvarez Yildirim. Yeah, Canelo would fuck up. He would fuck up Callum Smith. Something new, to be honest. He would beat that body, man. Callum Smith would be like a blank canvas for Canelo to land combinations on. He'll be like a heavy bag, basically. Yeah, Coldwell. Yeah, he also trained Kelbrook trained Kelbrook as well. Dave Coldwell for a bit. Yep. Son of Barry Hearn, savior of British boxing. Oh dear. I'll be honest with you, man. I ain't gonna get. Yeah, fuck Eddie Hearn. I ain't gonna get into that Matchroom shit. That shit gets boring, man. That gets boring. Eddie Hearn's done okay for British boxing. I think the thing is with Eddie Hearn, yeah, it's either one thing or the other. People either completely fucking hate the guy and are completely they're not objective at all. On the other hand, people just fanboy for this guy so hard, where again they're not objective. I'm kind of in the middle with Eddie Hearn. Has he done some good things? Yes. Has he increased the popularity of the sport? Yes. But has the product been good enough, especially on regular Sky? In my opinion, no. It's not been good enough. The domestic shows haven't been good enough, in my opinion. I mean, it was 2017 when he said this, and he did say this on IFL. People were complaining about the number of pay-per-views during a time period in 2017. I think it was around the time of Brooke versus Spence. People were complaining about the number of pay-per-views. And Eddie Hearn, he said that because of the increased numbers of pay-per-views, we would have more world title fights on regular Sky held in the UK. That never happens. That never happens. We hardly have any world title fights on regular Sky held in the UK. I'm not talking about international shows that get picked up. I'm talking about Matchroom shows in the UK on regular Sky which have world title fights on. We never get these. Always put on a pay-per-view, or these guys get shipped out to America to get bashed up. Not good enough, man. The quality of content hasn't been good enough, in my opinion. Yeah, fair enough. The pay-per-views, to be fair, when I've bought a Matchroom pay-per-view, usually I don't end up feeling like I've lost my money. The pay-per-view quality is pretty decent, but the regular Sky quality, poor. Really poor. Really poor. Look at St. Brit's mad. Yeah, fuck that the Leeds shirt, St. Brit. Dear. Yeah, he was definitely in journeyman mode, MB, in that Sokolovsky fight when he was fighting Kazabutsky. Yeah, you're right. Oliver Smith's got a wince look. Lol. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of the Smith brothers, to be honest. I don't mind Stephen Smith. He seems to be like the less egregious one, I guess. Yeah, I think it's going to bomb as well, Cavernide. I still wouldn't be surprised if Fury Wilder 3 doesn't happen. I wouldn't be surprised at all. He needs to rematch Steve Rolls. Jesus Christ. Yeah, ABC Def. The real question is, how many people have Suleiman's nudes? He's got weird relationships with too many fighters. Yeah. Why is Tony Bellew so tight with the WBC? This guy was made champion emeritus after beating Makabu and BJ Flores. He was made champion emeritus, whatever you call it. It's insane. Absolutely insane. For fuck's sake, the Autism Brothers. Oh, shit. Fucking hell. Oh, yeah, Josh is back with Hearn, Levi. Yeah, it looks like Josh is going to fight Kanzu, who's like the WBA regular champion in that weight class. That'll be a decent fight. Kanzu's a decent fighter, to be honest. He's genuine top 10, I would say. So, yeah, if Josh fights Kanzu, no problem with that fight at all on my end. I think that's a pretty good fight. It's a pretty good fight. I don't mind. I actually like Josh Warrington. Josh is a pretty good fighter. Exactly, Cop End. Crazy to think Kyle Frock versus Lucien Butte was on regular Sky. Would never happen today, yeah. And I think Carl Frampton was on the undercard as well, yeah. Amazing, isn't it? It's crazy. It's crazy. Oh, yeah, Nordic, yeah. Gary Russell's coming across very bitter and regretful, yeah. I think he realises he's pissed his career away, to be honest, Nordic. I think he knows he's pissed his career away. And the sad thing is, listen, Gary Russell's a good fighter. He's a talented fighter, hand speed, combination punching. He's a good fighter. I mean, he got beat up by Lomachenko, but unlike a lot of Lomachenko opponents, he took his beating. He took a lot of heavy body shots in that fight. Go back and watch that fight. Look at the bodywork Lomachenko was doing. Gary Russell did very well to get through that fight. A lot of guys would have quit, as we know. So Gary's a tough guy. He's got a good skill set, but he's done nothing with it, basically. He's done absolutely nothing with it. You know, it's a shame, really. But, you know, he made that decision, so I can't feel sorry for him. He made that decision. So what can we say? What can we say? Levi Khan, he wants to fuck me. He wants to see Prograis versus Broner at 140 to 147 just for fun. Prograis beats the piss out of Broner, in my opinion. Adrian Broner wouldn't throw anything back. He would just shell up and basically try to survive the distance. I would have liked to have seen Prograis versus Maurice Hooker. That was supposed to happen, but Hooker pulled out. So, yeah, big up to G-Man. Big up to G-Man. G-Man's got a channel, by the way. Both G-Man and Nordic Warrior, both guys have channels. So if you get a minute, check these guys out, man. Check these guys out. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, G-Man. Yeah, never understood why Bellew was so close to the WBC after only 2 fights. Yeah, exactly. It's not like this guy went on a legendary title run where he beat everybody and their mother. No, he beat a good fighter in a Lunga Makabu and a complete no-hoper in BJ Flores. That's his WBC legacy. And the guy was champion emeritus, where however you fucking say that nonsense. You know? Insane. Insane. O'Hare, Eddie made the same mistake the UFC did. Quantity over quality. I remember UFC circa 2008 to 2009. I can name most fighters on the roster and the cards were stacked. Yeah, exactly. I do agree, O'Hare. Eddie's got this thing where if he chucks he'll chuck a load of big names on a card and he thinks it's a good card, but a lot of these fights are mismatches. Oh, we've got so-and-so fighting. Well, who's he fighting? Do you know what I mean? Like, it's like, let's look at like one of the last pay-per-views. Like Prograis versus Taylor. I know that wasn't solely Matchroom, But, that was being sold with Chisora versus Price. That's a mismatch. And it's being dressed up as a good fight. It's not a good fight, really. Yeah, I like seeing David Price get knocked out. Cool. But it's not a good fight, is it? It's not a good fight. Price versus Povetkin. Yeah, again, it's funny watching David get knocked out, but it's not a good fight. It's just a freak show, like a name fight, I guess. And that's what a lot of these Matchroom sort of undercards are like. Levi Khan, not boxing, but why do you Brits call SIGs fags over here? That would be extremely offensive. To be honest, mate, I've got no clue. I've got no clue. No clue at all. Exactly, Copend. Yeah, you're right, bro. Yeah, Gary should have been talking shit 5 years ago. He's left it far too late to start talking trash. Yep. Exactly. Exactly. 100%. ABC Def. Gary needs a beating again. The guy thinks he's a pound-for-pound material, but he's just not. He should have fought someone else if Leo Santa Cruz ducked him. Yeah, exactly. Exactly, ABC. I actually still think Gary Russell Jr. is to blame for coronavirus because this guy fought in January this year. He was on course to fight twice in 2020, which is like a record for Gary Russell. That's why coronavirus happened, because Gary Russell was actually going to fight more than once in a year. Khabib's hat just been for a run at night, and loads of Chav idiots shouted abuse at me too from their 20-year-old car window. Really hate the UK at times, full of retards. Yeah, there's a lot of people like that in the UK, just antisocial fucking idiots. Listen, when I was young, yeah, I was doing shit I shouldn't be doing, but I never fucked around with people who weren't involved in that sort of shit. Do you know what I mean? Never done that in my life. A lot of these kids these days have no respect. They need a fucking beating, to be honest. They need a fucking beating. Nordic Warrior. Yeah, listen, Gary Russell's still delusional about that Lomachenko fight. He's still delusional. Oh, I beat Lomachenko 99 times out of 100. Come on now. Come on. Listen. You put up a good fight. You showed some heart. Leave it at that. You got outclassed. Leave it at that. You're not beating Lomachenko. Just fucking move on. Yeah, to be fair, Levi, I've not got much problem with that fight, to be honest, with Sean Porter. Sean Porter's fought Spence, Ugas, and Danny Garcia back to back. If anybody deserves an easier fight at welterweight, it probably is Sean Porter, to be fair. And he's a guy who's really willing to fight anybody, so I'll give Sean Porter a pass. I'll give Sean a pass. I ain't got no problem with Sean, to be honest. I don't mind Sean Porter. He's a good dude, good fighter as well. Good fighter. Good fighter. Yeah, you better not duck me, son. Son. How does Keith Thurman say son? It's like thumb. Oh, Keith Thurman, man. Keith one-time Thurman. Keith part-time Thurman. Keith once upon a time Thurman. Keith runtime Thurman. So much fun to have with his name. So much fun. Yeah, Bellew's definitely a chav. Bellew is definitely a chav. We're calling you out, Tony, you fucking chav. Oh, God. Lucas Brown versus Robert Helenius. Oh, fucking hell. Jesus. That's a bad fight, that. Lucas Brown, this guy got fucking bodied by Dave Allen, and he's fighting Helenius. Fuck me. Why not Helenius versus fucking Charles Martin, for example? That'd be a decent fight. Like a fringe level type of fight. Competitive enough. Lucas Brown? Are you serious? Who's Lucas Brown's manager? Fuck me. That's terrible. If he gets that fight, fair play, but fuck me, that's a mismatch. Yeah, that is a good fight, Levi. That is a good fight. I would actually take Gilberto Ramirez to beat Eubank Jr., to be honest. I think he's too long. He moves quite well. I think he beats Eubank behind that jab, behind that reach. I always thought Gilberto Ramirez was a good fighter, but again, a guy who's just not willing to step up. You know what I mean? Just not willing to step up. Oh yeah, G-Man. When Thurman was beating the likes of Danny Garcia, Sean Porter, I was quite high on him. I never thought the guy was head and shoulders above every other welterweight, but I thought the guy was genuinely a world-class fighter, good to watch. But these days, man, Keith Thurman's clearly on the slide. He's got 1 foot out of the door. I think that's his problem, to be honest, as well as the injuries, obviously. But I don't think Keith Thurman's head's really in it like it was back in the day. Keith Thurman back in the day, he convinced so many people with his words, you know, because he came across as actually like he had that thing of where he could make you believe him, kind of thing, you know, one of those persuasive people, and he really got people on board, but he never really did anything after the Danny Garcia fight. Never really did anything, to be fair. Yeah, exactly, official. Yeah, I've got nothing. Yeah, I'm the same. I've got nothing but respect for Porter. Nothing but respect. Yeah, Sean Porter is a very good fighter. Always come to scrap. In great shape all the time. And he's a classy dude as well. He's really down-to-earth guy. Good guy. Yeah, he's a good guy, Sean Porter, yeah. He's a good guy. I actually like watching him fight as well. I think he's a bit underrated in terms of his skill set. People say he's like a football player and like a fucking wrestler. That's nonsense. That's nonsense. He's got a really fucking good jab for a start. How he jabs his way on the inside is very impressive. That quick jab is like a shovel. It's like a step-in jab. It's like a fucking shotgun to get on the inside. And he's got really quick feet as well, Sean Porter. Really quick feet. Really quick feet, man. Oh, big up to Unrivaled Boxing Talk and News. Am I the only one who's furious Bellew continues to bring up a dead person for sympathy all the time? Attention seeking off a dead guy. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like Nordic mentioned it earlier. What's his brother-in-law or something like that? Yeah, every single fucking long interview you see, this guy brings that up. That's what I'm saying with Tony Bellew. The guy just doesn't seem genuine. He just seems like such a fake person. So fake. I used to like Tony Bellew on the come up way back when he was with Frank Warren, when he was fighting the likes of Cleverly first time around. I used to quite like Tony Bellew, believe it or not. You know, I used to quite like him, but these days, man, he's nothing but a Matchroom shill. That's obvious. You know, the guy's a cheerleader. He's not a commentator. He's a cheerleader. That's what he is. Let's be real. He's a terrible commentator. Terrible. I can't get on commentary again. I can't get on commentary again. Do you know what I mean? Because I just get wound up. I keep on talking about fucking bad commentary. I just get wound up. Yeah, Sean Porter's a hard cunt. No doubt, bro. No doubt. He's a hard cunt. And he doesn't act like it either. You know, a lot of these guys have a chip on their shoulder. Oh, I'm from the streets. I'm from this. I'm from that. Sean Porter does none of this. And this guy's as tough as any of them. Guy's made of granite, man. He's a good fucking fighter. Thurman went to Nepal to get married. Fuck me, didn't strike me as a guy who wants a child bride. Fuck's sake. Yeah, big up to Unrivaled, by the way, for the super chat or super chats. Big up to Unrivaled. Big up to Unrivaled. The Russians have bugged Dillian White's camper van. Fuck's sake. Oh dear. Dear, oh dear, oh dear. Man, everyone assumes these Russians are cheats, you know. It's kind of fucking... We always hear about like racism and xenophobia these days, right? That's what I see people do to Russian people all the time. We see it in the media, in mainstream media. You know, we see it with like Belarus right now and all these Eastern European countries. There's definitely a disdain for like Russia and etc., like Russia, you know, all these Eastern European countries. There's some sort of disdain there. I don't know what it is really, but I don't know what it is. Yeah, exactly. Me too, G-Man. I used to like Bellew back in the days. Yeah, exactly. When he was fighting on Box Nation, when he was fighting Cleverly first time around, I used to like Tony. And by the way, the second Bellew Cleverly fight was shit. But the first fight was actually pretty good, to be fair. That was a really good fight. Oh, yeah, Nordic. If you ever get the chance to go to anywhere in Eastern Europe, I would recommend it. So I've been to Bulgaria and I loved it. I really did love it out there. An amazing place. Really enjoyed it. Really enjoyed it. The next plan is to go to Croatia. That's the next plan. I want to go to Croatia. I would like to go back to Bulgaria actually as well. Croatia, Bulgaria. I wouldn't mind going to Latvia in Riga as well. And I would like to see Russia at some point. I would like to see Russia. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, Russia is counterculture right now. Yeah, that's what it seems like. Croatia's beautiful. Yeah, I've seen the beaches out there, man. The beaches look lovely in Croatia. Yeah, O'Hare, that is true. Yes, now this is a very good point. What's hilarious is that Team Sky UK Cycling were in the news last year for mounting evidence of doping, but you wouldn't know because of how quickly that news went away. Yeah, exactly. Exactly, brother. Again, though, like Eastern Europeans get this bad rap for being like just fucking insular people. When I went to Bulgaria, there was nothing of the sort. And I just didn't stay in resorts either. We went out to the country. We went to the mountains, you know, and places like that. And everyone there was friendly as fuck. Genuinely friendly as fuck. Which was nice. I guess Bulgaria is not Eastern Europe, Danilo D, but it's the same sort of culture, isn't it? It's the same sort of culture. Same sort of culture. It's a good place, though. It's a good place, no doubt. It's a good place. Levi Khan, Alan Babic versus Hrgovic for the Croatian heavyweight title. You've got to go with Hrgovic. I've not seen too much of Alan Babic, to be fair. I think I've seen 2 of his fights on Matchroom cards. He looks okay. He's a smaller heavyweight, though. I think he's like 6'1", kind of aggressive. He said his hero is Joe Fraser, so that's the style he tries to mould himself on, obviously. I don't think he goes that far personally, but he could be involved in some fun fights, no doubt about it. No doubt about it. Yeah, I thought Bulgaria was Eastern Europe as well, unrivaled. I'm going to Google it. Oh, well, it doesn't matter. It's a nice place. It's a nice place. That's all I know. It's a nice place. I would definitely recommend it to anybody. Yeah, exactly, O'Hare. Yeah, they do. They do. It's a massive country, though, to be fair. What's next for Murat Gassiev? To be honest, Ian, I've got no clue. I've been waiting for Gassiev to come back for quite some time now, and I was giving him more of a chance at heavyweight than others were. But, you know, the guy's been out of the ring now for so long. When was the last time he fought? I forget now. Was it July 2018? So basically, over 2 years he's been out of a ring. There's no news in regards to his return. I'm not convinced now, to be honest. I'm really not convinced. It's a shame because the guy's a good fighter in my opinion, but it's what it is, man. It is what it is. From what I heard, Levi, it was like they Matchroom didn't want to renew Michael Hunter's contract. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's it. Unrivaled borders: Greece, Romania, Serbia, and also Turkey. Yeah, that's it. By the way, lads, next stream I do, I'll probably have people on. Probably get Unrivaled on, or usually it's Unrivaled because I know Unrivaled knows his boxing, so he's always the best to come on, man. But yeah, next stream I will have some people on. You know what I mean? Yeah, big up to UCTV Boxing, man. Long time no see, bro. Hopefully you're doing well. I see you're coming back, though. I saw your video the other day. So that's good, that's good. He said, I was told Montenegro is a tinderbox and a shithole. Spent 6 weeks there last year and absolutely love the place. People here have island mentality, opinions about other countries. Cringe. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. People in the UK are very insular. It's not as bad as some Americans. And by the way, I'm not casting judgment on any Americans, because some Americans they're not like that. But we're similar to Americans in that sense, where, we are very insular, and we kind of look down on other countries without even visiting them. We are like that. We are definitely like that. It's a very good point, UCTV. Because I was kind of, I was umming and ahhing about Bulgaria, to be honest with you. And yeah, when I went there, man, I was blown away. Genuinely blown away. Khabib's hat. I sat next to a Bulgarian woman on a National Express coach once in my 20s in the 1990s, touched my leg a few times and went on a date after, pooed it and got too drunk in a bar. Fuck's sake. Dear. And yeah, the women out there are quite nice, They are quite nice. What I like about Bulgaria as well, one thing I noticed, and it was so apparent when you went out there, all the locals, yeah, they was all out together, their families, husband, wife, kids, all together, all of every single person, they was accompanied by, their wife, their kids, and you could tell their family structure, is so much stronger than ours, so much stronger, man. The nuclear family structure over there is still intact, whereas over here, that shit is continuously being undermined by, I would say programming and social engineering, to be honest with you. That's why our society is so weak. That's one of the reasons, because the nuclear family is being ripped apart year by year, man. And it's resulting in more and more degenerates. That's the truth. That's the truth. But all we can do really, is try and live our lives and, make sure our values are intact. We can't really worry about other people, right? That's the thing. Yeah, man, like Spanish. Big up to Spanish. Oh, Fascia. Oh dear. Oh dear. Callum Smith is up there for the least charismatic fighter. He's not on the level of Daniel Dubois and Joe Joyce, though. Let's be honest. He's not on that level. He's a little more well spoken than those guys. He's more well spoken, but he's still pretty boring, to be honest. Old Callum Smith. Lennox is the best Commonwealth fighter of all time by a distance. Yeah, Lennox is up there. Lennox is up there. Mike McCallum, he's up there as well. You would have to say Mike McCallum. There's some great fighters, man, from the Commonwealth. Worst fight of the year candidate: Okole versus Glowacki. Says a lot that Eddie wants Glowacki and Ben Goulamarian before moving up. Yeah, exactly. Why not? Why not the Dorticos Briedis winner, for example? Oh, really, Nordic? I'm glad I never grew up in Scotland. God only knows how I would have turned out in the community I'm from. Yeah. Well, listen, bro, England ain't much better, bro. So, I think the whole UK's in the same boat. I really do. I really do. I've never actually been to Scotland, believe it or not. I'd like to go to Scotland and Ireland. I've been to Wales. Wales is quite nice, but I've never been to Scotland or Ireland. I'd like to check them out. Maybe for a long weekend with the lads. Joe Joyce is a fat Jermaine genius with low IQ. Fucking hell. I see the resemblance. Yeah. Goulamarian's a good fighter, ABC Def. He reminds me of Garcia a little bit in terms of style. Maybe not quite as powerful, but powerful enough. Decent fundamentals. Good fighter. He needs to get his He needs to get his big fight, though, at Cruiserweight. But yeah, Cole versus Glowacki, I would imagine that's going to be a fucking dull fight. Yeah, Lennox was pretty good to UCTV, no doubt. He's not my favorite heavyweight though. I'm going to give you the casual answer. I'm going to say Mike Tyson, but he's certainly not the best heavyweight of all time. Mike Tyson fanboys kind of ruin it for the rest of us because these guys make out like Mike Tyson, the prime Mike Tyson, as they like to say, beats everybody and their mother. Now, Mike Tyson, in my opinion, he would have always lost to Evander Holyfield. He would have always lost to Lennox Lewis. I think he would have always lost those fights personally, even in his prime. I really do. But in terms of skill set, in terms of the whole package, Mike Tyson is my favorite heavyweight. You know, basically overcoming that small stature and doing what he did was impressive. Very impressive. You grew up in Nottingham, Nordic. I've been to Nottingham, I've been to Nottingham. Nottingham's okay, to be fair. It's not too bad. Well, it was when I went there. I last went there when was that? Jesus. Probably like 2006, maybe. Oh, yeah, Fat James Toney is a fucking G. Yeah, Fat James Toney. The guy looked like a fat, just a kung fu master, how he was moving around. That guy was good, man. Anyway, lads, I'm going to wrap this one up. I actually went longer than I anticipated. I was only going to go live for an hour. So, yeah, I'm going to wrap this one up. I think next stream I will have somebody on. Probably get Unrivaled on if he's free. But yeah, man, thank you guys for dropping by. Smash the like on your way out. Be much appreciated. And, yeah, man, check out Unrivaled Boxing Talk and News. His channel is there. Check out Nordic Warrior. And also check out UCTV Boxing. All very good channels. But yeah, peace, guys. Smash the like. I'm out.